President Houston, you will start the board meeting.
Thank you, Principal Chung. Well, welcome everybody to May 15th special board meeting. In a moment, we're going to take roll, but I do want to welcome everybody, both board members and any guests or those who will watch later on the recording, and especially a welcome to any parents. In a moment, you will have opportunity for public comments both now and then near the end of our meeting. But prior to that, we are going to call the meeting to order, and it is 9:02. And we're going to begin with roll call. I am Doug Houston, serving as board chair. Who would like to introduce themselves next?
I am board trustee Edward Watson.
Thank you, Edward. And next?
I'm just a board member from far away from you, called Vancouver, BC, Canada.
Well, glad to have you as well. And then next as well.
Yes, I'm Dr. Jolene Smith, board member.
Thank you. And recognizing all but one are present, unable to be with us is Glenn Rogers, although he has sent in his proxy vote on one resolution that we'll talk about later. So welcome everybody. At this time, I'm going to ask Principal Chung to check our chat area and see if there are any parents, and I'll invite parents then to share public comments. If you'd first type in the comments area that you have a comment, then we'll recognize you and give you up to 3 minutes to share anything that's on your mind. And Principal Chung, any in the
No, we don't have any
area of chat yet? And I do welcome parents. I see parents joining us today. Thank you for being part of this special meeting. And again, parents, you'll have some time near the end of our meeting to share public comments as well. We do have closed session that we'll go to for, it could be as much as 10 minutes. I don't expect that. I believe it'll be closer to about 5. And so if the parents will excuse us, Principal Chung is going to send us into a private room. And again, to remind parents, that's so that we can talk frankly about contracts and hiring.
Okay, so no public comments from parents. I'll be sending our board members to the breakout room for the closed session. Did you see the invitation to go to the breakout room or not?
Not yet. And I don't know if sharing your screen affects that at all. I don't think it does, but. Oh, there we go. Great. Okay, welcome back, everybody, to our main and public session. Reporting in, our board did approve the contracts placed before us. We're now prepared for our Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm going to ask everybody to place their right hand over their heart and repeat along with me our pledge. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We had all of the same board members in attendance at the last meeting, which is nice because then I can entertain a motion to approve our last board meeting minutes. Would a board member like to move to approve last meeting's minutes? I saw Miller's hand. There we go.
Yeah.
And a second, please.
I second.
And Dr. Smith second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And nay. Motion passes and minutes are accepted and approved. Now we have an exciting update from our Executive Director and Superintendent, Dr. Michael Scott, taking us through. Dr. Scott. And Principal Chong as well, because I think there's some updates from him as well.
Okay, Dr. Sky is muted. I'll start. So we have a wonderful group of parents who would like to be who would like to join our PTA board. And we have over 40 parents who are interested. And we had a meeting. I want to show my appreciation to their personal time in the evening. We met twice to talk about how to prepare our students to be ready when the school open on August 19th. For example, we mentioned about preparing the emergency backpack for our teachers and office staff. And also we talk about our plans for holding a PTA event, popsicle social for our new families to get to know each other and join our PTA general and to become a PTA general members. We also talk about holding a book fair so that we can help our parents to purchase books for both English and Mandarin. And I also want to thank our wonderful SOA, Sunny Yu. She has been contacting the book publishers, for example, Scholastic for English and Chinese book publishers, so that we will be able to host a book fair for our new families. And we will be providing parents the school supplies list before the school begin, and I'm also working with our PTA board on that. And our PTA board will also help to design the school uniform for jacket and overcoat to give our parents option to purchase. And I also want to thank our PTA president and vice president candidates. I met with them yesterday. They shared with me many great ideas how to do the school fundraising. So we will have more discussion during next PTA board meeting. And also they have helped me to find candidates who can help with the morning supervision, because we do have some requests from our parents that if it's possible for school to have morning care, and they are able to find two great candidates who just live across from our school site. So that will be some discussion I will have with Dr. Scott, and also we'll come up with the proposal, which will be approved maybe during next board meeting or the board meeting after that. That's my update. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. We have a grand opening ceremony planned. Stephen confirmed July 29th, right?
Yes.
And 11 o'clock. Is that correct, or 10?
Tentative would be 10:30 or 11. We will share the finalized time with our parents and community members later.
Great. We plan to have that inviting press, inviting dignitaries, chairmen. So Dr. Williams of the Orange County Board of Education, Mr. Watson, who's the former mayor of Irvine and current Orange County supervisor. There will be many other dignitaries, those who have given. So a board member from the Hoag Foundation for the $50,000 grant that we've received. We're expecting a few more grants. We've had some good traction on our search for a new bank. That person, if there is a donation, as well as presentations and demonstrations of music and talent to keep it exciting. But it's not that they're going to be professionals. They'll be either our kids or kids similar, because that's what we're all about. But that's going to be a big event. And Storyland has already begun producing materials to beautify our school and make it exciting for kids to be a part of, which we will begin in July 1st to start preparing the school site for this grand opening. Okay, any questions about that? All right, and please send your comments to me later. If something comes up in your mind thinking, hey, here's somebody we might want to invite, I'm happy to hear it. Enrollment. We're at the point now we're going to start asking for requests for records, beginning at least July 1st. It could even, the procedures could even start before that. Power School, our student information system, has a module that I'm going to consider that allows the parents to directly input the student information into the file. Then we'll check it for accuracy. Stephen's database did a wonderful job of putting all the parents that wanted to join our school into it. I was very impressed. It was much better than anything I could have thought of. So we'll see if Power School has a good module for that. But we'll request their records, and starting in June, before July 1st, maybe even in June, Stephen and I will begin to codify how the enrollment is. We're checking with some other people, our help at Orange County Department of Education. SELPA meeting is on Tuesday. That's our capacity meeting. We have all the information turned in, and I feel very good about this. Bill Evans from Effectual Education will be assisting us. He's been a special education teacher for 25 years and helped us write our application. Stephen will be there with his experience as a principal. I'll be there talking about monies, whatever. So the special education SELPA meeting will take place in just a few days now. And that should finish that up, by the way. We can't have a school without it, and we're in good shape with it. Just one more update that's not on here, a small update. There's been some changes at Sacramento that have occurred. There's a bill going in front to be voted on. And one of the things that would affect our school is it would increase the oversight cost from 3% from the district. And I think Orange County is only charging 1%, but they can charge up to 3%. And it would increase that to 9%. So like a large district like LA Unified that has had a lot of charter schools created, this, I guess, is a bone to them. But they don't do any better job. It's just money away from our students. So we're not going to get politically involved at this point, but just so you know, in the future, more of these things that affect charter schools directly will ask our parents to write letters and make them aware of some of the changes that are occurring. Charter schools are really having an effect in California, and this is a reaction to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have anything else. Stephen, is there another thing that has come up to you?
I'm not sure if all the all board members are aware of our OCDE, Orange County Department of Education board member um, Mary. She mentioned about school during her interview with the local media. So she has full confidence in our school, and she shared with the community that this is the right decision they make, and they are very proud of that.
Yeah, Trustee Barkey was in a public interview with Epic Times and on the news broadcast mentioned us specifically and her positive outlook for our charter. And that was really great. I believe we posted that link to that on our Facebook page as well. Dr. Scott, will our legal firm, Young, Minnie, and Core, continue to keep us updated on legislative developments?
They might, but it really comes from the two organizations that we join, charter school organizations specifically. And we just had a meeting that I attended of all the ones in Orange County, and I think maybe even LA too. And we talked about this issue specifically. It really, really affects independent study programs worse.
Yeah. Board members, I want to see if you have some comments or questions. Dr. Smith, in your school that you've been operating, some years volunteering by parents has reached as much as 15,000 hours of volunteering. I want to hear from you, your perspective on parent involvement, and then ask Principal Chung if our PTA will help coordinate parent volunteering as well. But Dr. Smith, would you share a little bit about the importance of parent involvement in your school?
Sure. Again, this last year has been difficult due to the waiver and the restrictions. However, in years past, that involvement has been positive in the way of a parent team that would actually coordinate also the work being done individually in each classroom from a parent volunteer that would volunteer for special parent classroom projects, assisting the teacher. So that worked out well. What we're trying to do for future, since we've had a closed campus this year, we're now in the future looking at our parent team, which is pretty dynamic in the way of building a great community and culture with our school, is to now charge them with special projects. So if there's a special project for a grade level or for all school, charging them with finding ways to bring the community together to fundraise, to be a part of implementing these special projects school-wide. So we're looking forward to this following year, this next year, as the COVID restrictions begin to lift a little bit. But that particular culture is so valuable to truly partner with the staff, with the teachers, with overall how you're trying to build that culture, and making sure that they're building that culture with you under the guidance, of course, of the administration, because it can be a very powerful tool in the culture of the school, as well as how the school continues to grow and build within special projects.
Wow, thank you. Principal Chung, what's your vision for volunteering and parent involvement and the PTA's role?
Yes, I'll be working with our PTA board, and we will assign parent volunteer to be the homeroom parents to assist our classroom teacher with organization of the homework packet or anything that our classroom teacher will need help from. So I'm very confident that this will be a strong community. Our parents will get to make lots of friends, and parents are excited to see each other. They can't wait the school to be open on August 19th, because in the past 5 days, I got to meet all different grade level parents, and we have a great turnout. We met through Zoom meeting, and we already have lots of students saying hello to their classmates, and I'm really excited about this new school. Thank you.
Thank you. Board members, any other comments before we move to our consent calendar? Okay, let's move.
We support the idea of the volunteer and then for parents' participation. Yeah, they are the great resources for the school. Yeah.
Thank you, Miller, for pointing that out. Great affirmation. On our consent calendar, I have 7 items. And what I'll do is I'll ask for a description for some of them from our executive director. We'll have some brief discussion, then I'll ask for a motion. Dr. Scott, CalPERS and CalSTRS retirement reporting system agreement is on our docket for approval. Could you give a brief description and the legal requirement for us to have this in place?
That's right. It's just a legal requirement so that CalPERS and CalSTRS can operate on our behalf. Actually, we're not doing CalPERS, but we are doing STRS.
Gotcha.
State teaching retirement system. So that's all it is just, yes, we can help you now with the retirement for our 13, 14, 15 STRS employees that we have.
Very good. Discussion, board members? Most are familiar with this. Could I ask for a motion to approve the CalPERS and CalSTRS retirement reporting services agreement?
I make a motion. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just want to make a motion to accept the agreement for the CalSTRS retirement reporting services.
Yeah.
And I presume Miller will second that. Thank you. And let's have a vote then. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? And motion carries. I want to acknowledge that one of the parents will have a question near the end. Her name is Lynn. Lynn, we did see that, and we'll get to you during open comments. Thank you for participating. Let's move to item number 2, Charter School Capital Agreement. I may take the opportunity to describe this one. As many people who've been involved with charters know, the funding for charter schools comes generally in the October timeframe and then every month thereafter. And so charter schools need to begin spending money prior to that time. For instance, we have curriculum we're purchasing, computers, we have payroll that we're paying at a small rate now, but will ramp up in August. And so companies have emerged to fund the interim months for charter schools. Charter School Capital is one of those. They've offered us a very attractive rate to make funding available to us. And so it comes in the form of a loan with one little extra caveat. It's a loan that attaches to our future receivable, which is our average daily attendance dollars. The rate is very reasonable, at or under 3%, and it acts as a line of credit. So we only use what we need and request as we need it, the funds we want. That's the only part that's subjected to the 2.5% to 3% interest. So it's very attractive. We're very fortunate that interest rates are great. This is necessary for every charter school to start up. We've been negotiating back and forth, and it looks like we've come to a real attractive agreement. This ties in to action item number 7, which is really the discussion that we're having at this point. What I would like to do is just let you know what that means that they have attached our future receivable. It means when our money comes from the state, they do have the first right to that money because they've already given us money that we're spending at this time. But in my opinion, it's very, very reasonable and attractive for us. Great place to hit pause. And here's some discussion and or if Dr. Scott wanted to add anything to that. But board members, thoughts on charter school capital and our line of credit that we can take advantage of. Not a whole lot of questions and discussion. You've had opportunity to see that. I will state for public consumption, they're making available to us approximately $600,000 to $650,000. That's more than we need, but it shows their confidence and faith in us And that was what they communicated, which translated to a great interest rate. That confidence and faith comes from two things: the willingness of Irvine Unified School District to participate with us on a property. Thank you to Irvine Unified School District. Second, the overwhelming parent support. They ask all the right questions, and parents who are watching this broadcast, thank you. Your involvement and support translated to real savings for us. Dr. Scott, anything else from you before we ask for a motion?
I met with their team yesterday. We're filling out all the information. And as you said, Doug, they were completely impressed with the fact that our charter school was full and a waiting list. They're used to dealing with schools that say they'll have 100 the first year, and they maybe have 30% at this point building up and for the August opening. So the word of mouth of our families in Irvine has been translated, as you mentioned, into a positive loan for us that we're having no problem paying back, by the way.
Very good. Lastly, I'll mention this for the board members. A good percentage of the funds that we will spend on technology, and parents, just want you to hear, the teachers will be supported with beautiful laptop devices. They'll have monitors or large screen displays in their classrooms to support direct instruction. The salaries for many of the interim months will be covered as well. And then the curriculum we purchased will also be reimbursed to our school largely through a grant that was obtained by Principal Chung and Dr. Scott. And so it's really incredible. You know, not only will we spend this money, but it will largely be reimbursed even before we have to repay it. So it's likely we won't have to use much of our average daily attendance dollars. That puts our school in a very good financial position when we're talking this time next year. Board members, any other thoughts or comments on that before I ask for a motion to approve the charter school capital agreement? Very good. Could I have a motion then to accept that charter school capital agreement?
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to support. And
Thank you. Thank you, Miller. We have our first and a second, please.
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. And all in favor then signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, as well as with Glenn Rogers' written response as well that I'll forward to Principal Chung to include in our minutes. That moves us now to the employee handbook and contract form provided by Young, Minnie, and Core, our attorneys and advisors. Would that be Principal Chung or Dr. Scott?
Let me begin. We have already provided this to our back office supplier, and Lee Taylor thanked us for the form. She says she loves the quality of work from Young, Minnie, and Core. They have this already as a standard that they research every 6 months, and they update it with their latest laws. So we added a few more things to it, but it's an outstanding piece of legal work to give security to our employees.
Wow, very good. Comments or discussion from board members?
Yeah, I would like to. I have just a question. So one, I don't know the U.S. So I think probably over here, that do we ever consider that do we have someone that in the legal side that to present us for us or helping us like a lawyer or something that to help us to protect the school in a legal way? Should we? This is the time that we talk about that, or maybe the next time, because I think that the creation of this school is so important that that being protected and then to build on and then the long term and then legally. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great point that you bring up. Twofold. One is from a legal standpoint, and we've had a beneficial relationship that we continue in with a legal firm called Young Mini and Core. Really, they were the spearhead for us, helping us understand and negotiate with the Prop 39 property agreement with Irvine Unified School District. They're continuing now in some of the other legal areas. Here in point is the employee handbook. And so they're going to be in a relationship with us for this season of this first year for sure. So, and it's vital for us to have that kind of advisement. They are also doing something important for us as board members. They're providing me with the virtual and written binder that will contain board policies. And so it won't be long till you receive a packet, and we'll update that each time we modify a board policy. And then Principal Chung has agreed to make a virtual copy available, privately protected, for our closest partners. That would be Athena, who does our back end office, and others who would be part of our management team. So very good in that way. Secondly, you'll hear about later in our board meeting, insurances. And so we're required by many of our partners and through our charter to carry insurances. And Dr. Scott's going to give an update on the negotiations and our first insurance contract. So great. I'm so glad you brought that up. These are vital protections, and they're keys to success. We have partnered with what I believe are the best of the best in Southern California all the way along. And I think that's what's lifted our credibility with Orange County Board of Education, and now even with Irvine Unified School District. So thank you. Board members, other thoughts in this category or area, or specifically the employee handbook that's been prepared for us by Young Mini and Core?
I'd like to add one more person that's a key person. If you haven't heard already, Doug Hewson is now a California lawyer licensed by the bar. We're fortunate to have him on our board, and I ply him for free advice all the time.
Yes.
Happy to provide it pro bono for this purpose, of course. And just remember the numbers 336659. That's my bar card number. Send all your complaints.
Wow.
Okay, let me ask for a, it's fun to have a little bit of fun. Let's ask for then a motion to accept the employee handbook provided by Young Mini and Core.
Continuing to have fun here, I move that we accept the employee handbook, excuse me, and contract from Young Mini and Core.
Yeah.
Thank you,
of
Dr.
course,
Smith.
like,
And thank you,
of course.
Chairperson Wong. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and any opposed?
Aye.
Action carries then, and that brings us to number 4, some investigation and I believe an action that will be requested by our executive director related to banking. And so if you give us an overview, Dr. Scott.
Good. We currently bank with Wells Fargo, and it's been fine to this point, but we found it came to a need where we needed to have a community bank involved with our school that we could work more hand in hand with, smaller, more personable touch. We've looked at several banks. We've got 2 recommended, but we've had some success with a third one where they've actually offered money for the school's operation to support us, which comes into play because we have a matching donor grant available to the school for $25,000. So it would be double what they offered, and it was a good amount. So we're still in the process of trying to decide, and we've decided to bring in our special person who has the biggest smile this side of the Mississippi. Doug Hewson. He has some appointments in Irvine with a bank director, and he'll help finalize a decision for the school on a new bank that will serve our parents as well as our school.
Thoughts and comments from board members. Thank you for that update. By the way, Dr. Scott, how would you frame a motion in this? It's one that, again, sometimes we bring before the board actions that can be taken unilaterally by our director, but in this first year, we tend to bring even smaller items up before the board. Would the motion be permission for our executive director upon investigation to move our banking then to a banking that fits our situation better? That's kind of the motion we're looking for.
Sure. And one approach could be a small committee to make a decision. That's also a possibility.
Actually, I like that. We could solicit our board to form a temporary committee for the approval of the next banking arrangements. I like that.
I like that.
I like that as a motion better. Discussion, board members?
Yeah. Well, I just probably, I mean, money matters.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and then it can be felt because of the money. And then also the money management is also crucial for, to take the burden that, lays on the superintendent or the principals or the teacher. I think probably we need to guarding that and then our support. So I think I really support a small committee then that way, because money also is a lot of little matters.
Right.
That, I mean, I don't want that just kind of like a tsunami comes to the board each time. Yeah. Okay. And then, but I think a committee would be the very, very positive and then also supportive.
I agree. I believe that committee, yes, the committee is very important, again, to take the burden of that off of just one person. And we want to, again, protect everyone. And so handling the banking and those decisions would be great to have a committee. I agree.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion would be the signers, we have two, and one of the organizations asked us to put a third signer on. So that's our next motion. So I say the committee could be the three signers to determine the next bank.
I might add this, though, we'll share as a committee then with the board, and that way the board's fully informed. But good insights too, Miller. My metric that I'm going to look at is speed and payroll processing, and then how the banks will receive and then post to our account our average daily attendance dollars coming from the state. Those will be two the key questions that I'm investigating. So
I would limit it to 2 board members so we don't violate the Brown Act.
Okay, so we'll keep it with the signers then, but we'll inform the whole board, of course, of our results. And if we need to add a staff member, I could see us adding a staff member as well. Great. So the motion then would be to form a committee to investigate and select a more well-fit bank or banks for the charter school.
And that would be Doug, Michael Scott, because I'm a signer, and whoever the next person is.
And we anticipate the third signer on our account will be Dr. Smith, so it would be logical to have her as the third committee member.
Yeah.
That sounds good. As he's typing that beautiful action up on our consent calendar, could I ask for a motion to form a committee to investigate banks such as the 2 described here and form the new relationships with notification to the rest of the board?
Yeah, I would like to move the motion.
Thank you, Miller. So moved. In a second, please.
I second.
Thank you, Edward. And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion carries. That moves us now to the need. Turns out it's a legal need to have a third authorized signer. We've done fine up until this point with 2 signers on our bank account, but there will be a necessity for third. I do want to point out that Miller graciously offered to be that signer. And in today's modern world, it is possible. Now, geographically, he's a little bit distant. And so we had a chat and we thought, you know what, thank you for the zeal, but we probably should appoint somebody local. I love the attitude, just, hey, I'm in, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so then I had a chat with Dr. Smith, and she's willing. Let's have some discussion. If somebody did object, we could entertain other, if Edward, you're busy earning your PhD in the last month or so, I don't want to put another burden on you, but discussion, board members, on this. The motion will be to approve Dr. Jolene Smith as the third authorized signer, but discussion, please.
Well, I have a business major, so I learned accounting, so that's why, and then money matters. So and then also this is for me that I mean every school can fail by because the money. That's why I would just say that excitement for me that to show. So even if you need me, I will be distant, but I'm so close too. So yeah, with the modern technology. So, but I would fully support what you suggest. I just show my excitement.
Thank you. And I'm leaning on you when we have our first variance reports from our accounting coming in about, October, November. And when we review both the year to date and the monthly variance reports, budget to actual, we're going to lean in on you, and you're going to have the insight and the questions for our team. So that business background is essential. New organizations succeed or fail based on two things. One is management, and we have great management with Principal Chong and Dr. Smith, and a great board. But the other is undercapitalization or misuse of funds, and that's where we're going to lean in upon you. And we're capitalizing now, but we have to manage every dollar. I love your phrase, money matters.
Yes.
We're about education, but this board, money matters.
Yes.
Great. Any other comments prior to a motion to have Dr. Smith as a third signer? Then I haven't gotten into the box scores yet, so I'll move that we approve Dr. Smith as the third signer on our checking and banking accounts. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Miller. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? And motion carries. Next, is the ratification of the health plan that we started to hear about last month for our full-time employees. We'll need an overview probably by Dr. Scott and or Principal Chung. Number 6, health plan for our full-time employees.
Dr. Scott.
I'm sorry. Let me write down. I've got to get the notes straightened out.
Okay, take your time, and when you're ready, we just need an overview of the health plan motion that we put together for the full-time employees. And I know you're going to describe that it's on par and consistent with employees of the school district, Irvine Unified School District. We use that as a guide and a template, but when you're ready, go ahead. We've already taken care of number 7, by the way, so this is our final action.
Okay, I just need 30 seconds more.
Yep, take your time, and as you're doing that, I will jump to number 7 because it takes an official motion because we sign a resolution. This is the description again. What we're doing with this resolution is we're agreeing that as we borrow money from our line of credit, there's attachment to the future receivable. And so the motion would be we resolve or we're willing to approve the resolution that allows charter school capital attachment to our receivable. Could I have a motion, since we've already discussed that, to approve that resolution they provided for us?
Yeah, I would like to make a motion.
Thank you. And a second?
A second.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the resolution passes. We'll have Dr. Scott sign that. Back to number 6 in our final action, health plan. And then we're going to get, by the way, to public comments right after board recommendations and prior to adjournment.
Great. Thank you. This will be my last time to type the minutes, by the way. One of our staff will be doing it from now on. I'm excited. The health plan has been a tremendous amount of interaction as was the business insurance, which we acted on, didn't we?
Yes.
I don't see the business insurance listed. Am I missing it?
It's not on the agenda. The business insurance is a legal requirement. We can add it as an action today. It's not necessary for board. You can approve that
Okay, that's fine.
necessity to meet our legal requirements.
Okay, so the two things I've been working on the most have been the health and the business insurance. Health, we made a commitment to our employees of $6,000. So we started with that and asked what could we provide. And essentially, we're providing a very good health plan for the employee. But Steve and I agreed that we want to do a little bit more. So we've opened up some possibilities of better quality insurance. And I don't know if it needs a board action, but for $7,000, we're able to provide the teachers with a great option that will be a normal teaching option. Something that Irvine Unified said we couldn't do, but we have succeeded with this health plan. Now the teachers, they could download a little bit so they could provide extra money for some other things, dental and eye, for instance. But either way, they are covered in the initial offering to them. And we're very, very glad to provide this, as well as for the office staff. It's 19 employees, it's prepared for 19 employees.
What would you estimate the annual cost increase to be to us at or about $20,000 for 19 employees to go from the 6,000 plan to the 7,000?
Yes, about that much. And the reason we can consider is because we haven't disclosed all of the financial benefits we received, but we have some other things that have really secured our financial future. And this is for $1,000 for each employee. It's a bargain to bring them up.
So you feel it's a priority, and we have offsets in other places in the budget that give us the savings to do so, which is really nice. It's a net. It's not a net increase to budget. It's just a allocation to a better part to our employees in that way. I think the motion will be to accept Dr. Scott's recommendation to increase the health benefit from approximately 6,000 to 7,000, which is offset by savings in other areas. But I want to hear some discussion, board members, your perspectives on, and I would love to hear Dr. Smith's perspective too, because I've heard you echo in your own school sometimes two things: people, personnel matter, and technology. Well, this isn't a technology discussion. Talk about your priority on people and retention.
Right. Again, taking care of your staff is, I believe, number one, because they take care of the classroom and the families that are there, the learners that are there. And so we want to be able to provide a great plan so that our teachers and our staff can really focus on providing and pouring in to our families and our students.
Yeah, thank you. Other discussion from board members on increasing our health plan allocation from 6,000 to 7,000.
Yeah, I think that in compare with the care that we provide as much as we can, that's the important thing. And I remember Dr. Scott just sometimes just mentioned that, I mean, what we people don't care how much you know, but people do care how much you care.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we show that as our principle, then that way the school will be protected and then our staff being protected. Yeah.
Any other thoughts or discussion from board members? Great, and I'll just echo that as part of a retention plan. Oh, go ahead, Dr. Scott.
I wanted Stephen to comment about the plan. He spent the time with me to go over it. Stephen, was there something that you noticed that you thought would really be beneficial?
I think they offer lots of options for our school to choose, which I'm very impressed. So there's room for discussion, and once we meet again via Zoom meeting, so we will include all of the teachers for them to choose. It's more like a menu because different teachers have different needs, and then after that Zoom meeting, then we will be able to finalize the plan that will work best for everyone.
Thank you. And thank you for looking out for our teachers and trying to get them the best. I know in the end that will, as Miller said, it will foster heartfelt connection to their school, and the flexibility in a plan to meet their individualized family needs is so nice to be able to provide right out of the gate. If no further discussion, I'll ask for a motion to accept Dr. Scott's recommendation to increase our health plan from approximately the 6,000 to 7,000 for employees. Could I have that motion?
Motion. I would like to move this.
Thank you, Miller. And a second, please.
I would second that.
Thank you. And Edward seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And any opposed? Fantastic. And that brings us to the end of our consent calendar. There's an opportunity for any board recommendations for our staff.
Talk about business.
Jump in.
I'm sorry, we wanted to talk about the business also.
Okay, we'll go back into the business insurance. Yeah,
You should have received information on business insurance. Is that correct? Everybody received information to review. Basically, it's about $21,000 a year, if I've got the number right in my mind. And it's going to provide all of the requirements from the Orange County Department of Education. They give us a list of business requirements. And then Irvine School District said, oh, you're leasing our building. We're going to give you some more business requirements. So we collated those together. Thank you to Mary Beth Chen, one of our office managers. Coordinated that together, presented it to the business, and they came up with a great insurance plan. It also includes board insurance, so that I forget the exact term, Doug.
Everyone should be clapping right now.
Yeah.
So that everybody will be covered for, your goodwill, what you're doing right. And I think all this begins July 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you have the authority as the executive director to enter into that agreement for us because it's a legal requirement. But I do like agendizing it. If I could add it to the consent calendar right now, and I'll make a motion that we approve the insurance agreement that Dr. Scott has created and negotiated on our behalf. Could I have a second for that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. All in favor then signify by saying aye.
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 And any opposed? And thank you for that. I have a little, of course, I like to have fun. That board insurance is often called mistake insurance. That's the nickname, but it's nice because it indemnifies us. If someone's upset with us, even if it's without cause, then we have legal representation and support. There's not financial risk to you as a individual as well. Great. Board, any recommendations besides the one we did ask for Principal Chong and Dr. Scott to create a printed org chart of our employees in the near future? That was the only recommendation I heard so far. Any other recommendations you have for them?
Not necessarily a recommendation, just a continued accommodation as to the fine work that all of you are putting into opening up this school. So excited for that grand opening in July, and however else we can continue to aid and assist all of the decisions that are being made. I feel very honored to be a part of that. So thank you again, Principal Chung, as well as Dr. Scott, and then also President Doug Hewson. Appreciate your work.
Oh, thank you, very kind. Any other board recommendations? I love it. And accommodations or That's good. We're going to move then to public comments, and we'll hear from parents audibly who would like to address, but Lynn H. was kind enough to put 2 questions down. I'll read the questions and we'll ask for a response from our executive director and principal, then Donna Lee as well. First question is, will Irvine Unified School District's Building and Maintenance Department be responsible for maintaining the school grounds and the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system? Do you remember from our tour, either Principal Chung or Dr. Scott, would you like to answer that one?
Briefly, and then Stephen, please.
Yes,
The,
they'll be responsible for the HVAC system for sure. And then my understanding is that we will be responsible for maintaining the school grounds from our end. If it's a major problem, then it's the responsibility of IUSD. But if we are talking about daily maintenance, it will be our responsibility.
and
Right, go ahead, Dr. Scott.
and the school district just constructed a baseball field in one of our areas. So they've continued to maintain the site anyway. And they're doing that even though we're there. They're respecting that just as much. And I said, you know, it is in your best interest as well, Irvine School District, because we're going to have a lot of people visit our school in the future. And it reflects better if the school is taken care of.
Right, and with all landlord lease agreements, the duties are divided. So minor maintenance is our responsibility, major maintenance is their responsibility. They maintain our IT infrastructure, which is a high-speed wide area network, and so we're grateful for that. But as we add equipment, we're responsible for our own individualized computers and things. So great insight from Lynn H on that question, but the details are in our lease agreement. Number 2, will Irvine International Academy be utilizing IUSD's janitorial services, or will we contract that out? And I'll add a third, or will we provide it ourselves as employee versus going to a third party provider? Principal Chung, what's your strategy on janitorial services?
We will be hiring our own full-time, daytime janitor and custodian. And then if we need additional service, we can contract out for the after-school program.
Will you take note of the following, because I think this is you'll recognize the intent here from Lynn. I feel utilizing Irvine Unified's employees for these areas are beneficial to students because Irvine International's open campuses even back in September 2020. I think this is related to COVID safety, and of course, Dr. Smith, you've had COVID safety experience and have lended your expertise here. But she goes on to say the building and maintenance department and janitorial department have been trained, passed background screening, and have experience in maintaining school grounds, and they're familiar with the chemicals to be used on school surfaces. Principal Chung, would you just give her, Lynn and other parents, an assurance that you understand these concerns, and we would of course have the same standard or even higher?
Yes, we will offer the mandatory training for sure, and lots of applicants who apply for this position, they already work in Irvine or Santa Ana or nearby. So they do have the work experience as a custodian.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you. And Lynn, great insight. And of course, at any time, if you need to share some great ideas or questions, you can certainly reach out directly to the principal as well. And he's very, very accessible. Now to Donna Lee to general question, just wanted to know the role of OCMD, Orange County Music and Dance, as related to the after school program. And I have to scroll, give me a moment, please. Seems like they're getting more time, but I want to make sure there's enough tutoring and after school help, since many parents are depending on that for homework help. And I think after school help would of course be for our primary charter, which is the Mandarin in particular. and or English help so that they're developing their language skills in both. That's probably a great Principal Chung one. And I'll just add to that question, where are we in the process? Have we finalized yet our after school program, or is it about to be finalized?
If I could begin.
Yes, please.
The priority for the after school program is homework help and teaching help in Mandarin, homework help and teaching help in English, homework help and teaching help in math. And we're going to bring the best people to help our kids to accomplish that. That's the number one priority of after school program, is academic support for our students, in particular because we're a language school. So just to clarify that, we were fortunate to, Stephen put together a great survey. We'll probably do a follow-up. There was also a very strong interest from the majority of parents for music and dance. Orange County Music and Dance is available for that. We're in discussions with them of how much time, what we can do. But that is separate from our priority mission of making sure our children succeed in their languages and the challenges in that. But on the other hand, over a majority of families have said, we'd like something extra for the kids, and music and dance is one of our priorities, but with other things as well. So we're evolving that. We're not evolving Mandarin, English, and math. We're still doing the basics, but we're going to evolve what the parents are asking for. We are a parent choice school, and we're fortunate to have one of the finest groups in the Orange County. In comparison, one example, Irvine talks about music often in their board meetings. It's a priority in all the Irvine Unified School District schools. But they will have 150 students in a violin class.
150 in a single class?
Yes, they spend 10 minutes just tuning the instruments, 10 minutes cleaning up. In contrast, Orange County Music and Dance will be offering some extra piano or violin in classes at a maximum of 8 children, just 8. And it will help them over the years to develop because we're starting so young.
Wow.
But all of that will be after we've determined the priority of Mandarin, English, and math help for the students, because we do have a lot of Mandarin speaking students that will need help for their English to develop, and vice versa, because we wanted to take, as a charter school, we have to take anybody that applies. It's one of the rules that we have that even Irvine does not have on their programs. They could have picked and choose. We can't. But we have a great program for having our teachers tutor and support, and then we're going to develop the correct teachers for the after-school program. We're still working on some of the flexibilities. We'll let out more information in June after we've completed all these essential things for the legal requirements of the school.
Very good. Principal Chung, what would you add? Thank you for highlighting again our priorities.
Yeah, I'll be working with Dr. Scott and look at the result of the survey and make sure we offer the program that accommodate most parents' needs.
Very good. This one would, I think, just be one to add in the mix. Galvin was nice enough to request this. My family brought up the desire to provide a 4-day per week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday after school program. So possibility of up to 4 days for kinder students until grades first plus, released at a lower fee. So the idea of a kinder program at a lower fee, can this topic be discussed or considered? And as a board member, I'll say, Galvin, thank you. And of course, whatever parents bring to us will be considered and oftentimes discussed in detail because we feel like some of the best ideas come from those closest to the children, our teachers and our parents. So thank you for bringing that up. And I'll just allow Principal Chung to echo his thoughts on consideration.
Yeah, when I met with parents, we have questions like that, and as I explained that, we of course we would like to accommodate parents' need, But in the same time, as a school, we also have to make sure we offer enough hours so that we can hire highly qualified after school program staff. If we only have 1 or 2 hours per day, and I already can see the challenge to hire highly qualified after school program. So we will have to have enough students to sign up for the 5 days a week after school program. And if we have vacancy, we can absolutely accommodate individual parents' needs. So we'll absolutely take your request into consideration. 4 days a week or 2 days a week or even 1 day a week. We will come up with the plan with detail.
Wonderful, wonderful. And thank you, parents, for your patience as we develop the after-school programs. This will be a rhythm that we all get into each year. We have our after-school offerings, and sometimes they'll vary in different years. So, but always the priority you heard from Dr. Scott. That brings us potentially to the end of public comments, but I would like to give any parents who are a part right now the opportunity to put something in the chat if you'd like to address us audibly as well. So any other public comments prior to adjournment?
Well, can I say something?
Yes, please identify yourself, and then we would love to hear.
It's board member Chuang.
Oh, is
I
that
raised my hand. Sorry about
my
it.
apology.
No, don't worry about it. I think those are the crucial items that, after school program. But I think probably as a board member, I have to address that our focus is to build IIA. Yeah, I think our focus is we should put all our energy to focus on the school time. That is our priority. So otherwise, if that, we have a great after school program, but we don't have a great school program, then we fail. So I think we need to make sure that, yeah. So second is our after school program. I would say that is a secondary. Don't put it as a priority. So any suggestions comes, I think board has the responsibility to help Michael Scott and also Principal John, to focus on. Yeah, because otherwise it can be sidetracked or protected or created the IIA. So that's just my initiation. And then also, when we come to the after school program, it has to be based on the parents' choice, not the school choice. So this is one of the major part of that. And then, yeah, otherwise then why not we run a after school then? Yeah, so that's just what I mean. And then also as a parents, I think we need to open up for more options. I read the survey, but I just feel that there's something that, there's a guided questions from us that should be more open-minded, open-hearted, because there's not only one after-school in your urban district. So if we do survey, want to learn from the parents, I think probably we have to be more general, more open, and then not just specify if this is school, after school, that, take it program, are you taking it? I don't think we have the right now to let the parents to choose what we choose. Okay, because then that way it will be conflict our purpose as a school, because then the community will not receive us as an open arm. Then they say, why you pick one school? How about my school? How about the other school? Yeah, I don't want we as an IIA jump into a criticism or maybe a favor to some after school. I think we don't have that a choice. We have to be open for whoever that takes in, because the program, if the after school program comes into our school, it should be an open arm that, for competition. Yeah, be fair. And then also we have to allow that, and then also the cost, because that involves in the money, that we have no decision, say, oh, I choose the best, but the most expensive one.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, be fair. And then that will protect Dr. Scott, that will protect Stephen Chung, because that can be seen, people can think differently. Oh, are there any under table?
Right.
Please, that will be, I just really want to make sure that we are not being jeopardized by some personal interest.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, this is a very tricky business.
Yeah.
Yeah, after school program can be very tricky. So for IIA have to be protected, number one. Yeah, whoever wants to partner with us, I think the board needs to be maybe just like a money matter that we need to protect, and then maybe a special committee right there to help our parents. Yeah, because I want to protect the parents.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I love your motivation. And the neat thing is this team here hearing that. And I think as a board chair, I'm leaning toward that idea of a committee that would assist the executive director and our principal in just that area for the protection of both parents, because there is money involved in after school programs. We're a free school.
Yeah.
School starts involving money, so we want to be transparent, above board. And as you put, whenever money's involved, it becomes a cheeky endeavor. Great insight. I love that. And I know I can see Dr. Scott going north and south and hearing that, and Principal Chung. We're going to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves.
Yeah. Thank you for that word. Yes.
That is really good. Any other final board comments? Principal Chung, did you see any other public comments?
I think that's it. That's all we have. Thank you.
Wonderful. If there's no other board comments, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn this board
And
meeting.
a second. Thank you, Dr. Smith. And a second. Looks like Board Member Zhuang. All in favor of adjournment then signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And our meeting is officially adjourned, and we'll thank Principal Chung for recording and posting as well. If you want to bring the recording to an end, we'd be grateful.
I'll start recording right now. Thank you so much.